Studio J, the best of Jefferson Middle School multimedia from Jefferson Middle School in the Fort Wayne Community Schools. Jefferson has never been afraid to have a little fun with their lessons, so let's take a few math terms and stick them in a song you know. This is Cha-Cha Math. One hop! Right foot now, left foot now, y'all. Cha-cha real smooth. Rotate around. Translate left. Translate back. One hop this time. One hop this time. Reflect, reflect. Translate to the left. Translate to the right. Reflect, reflect. Reflect, reflect. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha again. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha again. Rotate around.
Teachers. Some students think they're robots and never leave the building. Many of us think they don't have a life or an opinion about anything, but they do. Have you ever wondered what they thought about schooling? Do they like Jefferson? Maybe even if they wanted to be a teacher when they were kids. Well, here's our chance to discover what these instructors really think about teaching.
I was a very bad student, starting around 3rd grade all the way to my junior year in high school. I had lots of C's, lots of D's, and lots of F's, but I knew when I was a junior I could sign up for radio production class. And I took it and I loved it. I did really great at it, and all of my grades went from those C's, D's, and F's up to A's and B's.
I like educating because I think it's so fun to be around kids. I love the energy that they have, and me, I'm super energetic as well. So we feed off each other very well.
The reason I guess I started teaching was because when I was in school, I was not necessarily the best of student. And I always had teachers that encouraged me to do better and to do my best. So I think I'm sort of paying it forward, and that's why I really chose to teach.
When I was a child, in 4th grade, I used to line up every teddy bear I've ever owned, all of my dolls, all of my Barbies, and teach them how to write. I was one of those kids that knew that I could do something, and I really liked my teachers and my elementary teachers. Then when I got to college and I realized that teachers don't always make a lot of money, I thought I will be an accountant. After 1 year of taking accountant classes, I realized that education was definitely the better choice for me.
I was like a lot of kids, I guess. I grew up playing sports, so I always envisioned myself as playing some sort of professional sport. But teaching never really even was a consideration when I was young. I was not, like I said, I wasn't a fantastic student, so being in school, any extra time that I needed to was not really an option.
I did not want to be a teacher as a kid. I wanted to be an astronaut because space is cool. So there.
Before I became a teacher, my first job was actually in college. I refused to work with food and fast food because I'm not that good of a cook, and also I'd be grossed out if I saw how food was really made there, and I would never eat there. So I decided that I would have my first job at college, and I was a tour guide. So I got to explain the history of the campus, what the buildings, when they were built, who they represented, donors and things like that to potential students, and I really enjoyed it because I like talking to people, I like hanging out, and there's nothing like cramming 20 people into an elevator at once just to get to the next floor.
My very first job was a paper boy. I had a paper route. That was my very first job. Hated it. I have worked at a grocery store, bagging groceries, stocking shelves. I did that a lot through high school. I worked at the Sunglass Hut in the mall in college to make a little extra money.
Teaching's all I've ever done. I graduated from college in 1995. So wow, it's almost been 20 years, but it's all I've ever done and it's all I've ever wanted to do. If I had to give it up, I wouldn't know where to go. It would be kind of scary.
Have you ever had any other accompaniment?
We can edit all this, right?
Yeah.
afternoon! I'm Kyla. You obviously know that by the name of this show, Cooking with Kyla. Well, everybody likes dessert, right? If they don't, they have a problem. Unless they're allergic, and that's nothing to joke about. My favorite thing to eat is dessert, and my absolute favorite thing to eat is mint chocolate chip ice cream. Yummy! So, this afternoon, I'm gonna show you an easy way to make your favorite ice cream at home. Trust me, you will be the coolest kid on the block when you break out these babies this summer with playing with your friends. Now, I'm going to teach you how to make these sweet treats. First, grab a plate from your cupboard, the rinse from your pantry, your favorite chocolate syrup. Last, grab your favorite ice cream. Put the rinse on your plate. Then, take your chocolate and pour some in the center of your cracker. Now, pop that plate in the freezer. Now, your chocolate is hard. And now, it's time for my favorite part. The ice cream! Take your spoon and dip it in the ice cream. Then put it on one of your crackers. Now, you've got your Ritz Cracker ice cream sandwiches. Dessert is the best part of any meal. I think it's because it's one of the best times you can share with your friends and family. Whether you're celebrating a birthday, eating birthday cake, or sharing the bowl of ice cream with your sister on a hot summer's day. It can be cold, crunchy, salty, or sweet depending on what you like. I like the combination of all of these, which is why I love Ritz Cracker ice cream sandwiches. Thanks for cooking with Kyla.
This video was written for our Lies and Stereotypes unit, where the author talks about what it's like to have to hide part of who you are to be accepted by those around you. The screen is black until the very last second, and the name of this video is Heaven.
At this point, the truth hurts people. It hurts me more than anything. I don't want this to happen. It can't. I keep telling myself that it's just going to pass and that what I'm actually feeling isn't true. I'm supposed to be this great, cheerleading, dress-loving, stick-to-my-own kind of girl, not some sick person who isn't what everyone thinks I am. I want to tell people how I feel. I want to scream from the tops of roofs that I don't love him. I can't, though, because once one person knows, then everyone will. The truth spreads fast like the tears down my cheeks. Without losing a piece of me, how am I supposed to get to heaven? I can't get in if I act upon how I'm feeling, so I look away, I kiss someone I don't want to, do things that will make me more of a woman. I don't even know if my feelings are legit. I hope they aren't. It would cause too much pain. The world would hate me, my heart hurts, and all I want to do is tell someone what I've done. When it rains, I can't even look outside because I'm afraid to see a rainbow. I'm afraid to do anything anymore. My parents don't understand why I don't want to go to school. They think I just don't want to do the work, but every time I see her, I want to run the other direction. Every time I see her, it feels like my chest will implode, so I run away from who I truly am. I run away from family, from friends, from her, and this voice inside has been eating at me. I try to replace the love that I fake with what we all need, trying to sedate my mind in its cage and numb what I see. They will say I'm too young to know, so I guess I'll count to 15 and hope to God they're listening to the words I say. I hope to God they will accept me for being gay.
This is Studio J, the best of Jefferson Middle School multimedia from Jefferson Middle School in the Fort Wayne Community Schools.
Adrenaline. Blood pumping. Vein running. Adrenaline. You feel something you don't feel too much. Terror. I spit in its face. I feel the car, yearning to go. You want to do everything you can to hold it back. But not me. I let it fly. Reach heights never been reached before. Push the limits of speed. I feel something. You know that feeling you get when you're happy with your life? That's the experience I was having. I want to keep going. The rush was incredible. Come to a complete stop. I guess that's all there is to it. If you have a little bit of courage, you can go a long way.
Let's say you're invited to a summer barbecue, and you only have a few hours to prepare a dish, and you don't want to bring the same thing as someone else, or just don't want to do the same thing that you always do. Well, here's your solution. Everyone knows that baked beans go well with the barbecue. How about we raise it to 4 different types of baked beans in one amazing concoction of flavor, sugar, and spice. The ingredients for this, we're going to need 8 ounces of ground beef, 8 ounces of bacon, 1 medium onion, 1 16-ounce can of pork and beans, 1 16-ounce can of black beans, 1 16-ounce can of garbanzo beans, 1 16-ounce can of red kidney beans, half a cup of ketchup, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, 1 to 1/2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 2/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar, and 1 cup of mild to medium chunky salsa. Oh yeah, and a slow cooker, obviously. Prep time for this would be around 10 minutes, cook time about 4 to 6 hours, total time being around 5 to 6 hours. First off, we will need to cook the 8 ounces of ground beef. Before we start cooking the ground beef, I'm going to cut it in some pieces so it's easier to cook and cut it when it's in the skillet. As you can see here, the beef is still red with slight hints of brown. We're going to wait for that to turn entirely brown with bits of black on it, just so we know that it's cooked thoroughly. When it's finished, take it out of the skillet and let's pour it into that bowl. Then we will cook the 8 ounces of bacon. I would just use the same skillet, but remember to at least wipe it out with a paper towel, then add the bacon. Cook over medium-high heat until the bacon fat is rendered. Remove the bacon and drain on a paper towel, but don't forget to drain the bacon fat, reserving at least 2 tablespoons in the skillet. Next, we will dice the onions. And now we have 1 medium onion, we have to dice this, so I recommend just unleashing your inner Fruit Ninja skills from early 2013. Now, saute the onions in the bacon fat until they are soft. Finally, we add all the remaining ingredients into the slow cooker. I recommend to put in all the beans first, but you can do it in any order you like. But let's at least go over them again. 1 can of pork and beans, 1 can of black beans, 1 can of garbanzo beans, 1 can of red kidney beans, half a cup of ketchup, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, 1 to 1/2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 2/3 of a cup of packed brown sugar, and the special ingredient, 1 cup of mild to medium chunky salsa. Mix everything up in the crock pot, then depending on how much time you have, set it on either low, warm, or high. Low taking about 6 to 8 hours, warm taking about 4 to 5 hours, and high taking about 2 to 4 hours. Constantly mix around every 30 minutes until everything has started bubbling around the sides. Then rinse and repeat until desired heat is met. But don't undercook it or it will be cold, and don't overcook it or the beans will be soggy. Now, we just mix that baby up and just let it cook. Now, as you can see, there's steam coming out of the crock pot, meaning your food's almost done, or it is done. Just don't forget to let it cool first. So if you want to be the star of the barbecue, I recommend using this recipe. Thank you for choosing my tutorial, and I hope you end up using this recipe at some point. And if you do, I'd like to hear your feedback on how it turned out for you.
Food. Where is it?
Didn't you already have dinner? I'll take that as a yes. You know, Fruity, you're gonna end up eating so much to where you'll look like one of those balloons from the carnival.
Carnival food. Don't remind me.
Don't even start, Fruity.
Hey, have you seen...
No, I haven't seen any of your owners, and if I had, I wouldn't have told you because you aren't getting any more food. If you aren't careful, that cat Gatsby will find you.
Yes, she will. Kitty meow meow.
Don't say I didn't warn you. We had some fun times, Fruity. I never could have thought there would come a day where I have to bury a dear friend. Oh, woe is he.
Oh my goodness, Sundance, you are quite the drama queen, aren't you? I'm not going to be devoured by some dumb cat for the sake of my dignity and pride.
I knew that. I was just, practicing for, drama class. Yeah, I do that now.
Whatever you say, Sundance. Now where did I stash that food pellet?
Multimedia class at Jefferson Middle School is full of surprises. We learn the basics of videography. We post our videos to cable access TV like you're watching right now. We publish to YouTube, and we edit our videos with a program called Adobe Premiere Rush. And here is how it works. What's up, Jefferson Multimedia? It is time for us to start editing video with the Adobe Creative Cloud. We are going to work with Adobe Premiere Rush. Really simple program. I'm really liking how it works so far. I usually teach video editing by working with sports videos because it's the best way to teach how to split a video, how to trim out and delete the boring parts, how to add transitions or crossfades or cross dissolves between your shots, and how to make stuff just look and sound great. So we're starting with surprise volleyball. If you've had me before, this is usually where I begin. So the first thing I will need you to do, I have 2 flash drives on my desk. They're little guys that look like this. PNY is the name brand if you're into that kind of thing. And you're looking for the file called Volleyball Game 1. What I want you to do is put the flash drive in, go down to the bottom, look for this file folder thing, click on it, and then once you're there, you are looking for the flash drive. It will be over here in your files. I've named them both Jeff Media. Double click on Jeff Media if it's not already open. Then I want you to grab the file called Volleyball Game 1, drag and drop it on your desktop. So who needs to take care of this? You do. My students will need to pass the flash drive around every hour and make this happen. I will not supervise this happening. We'll just have a drop-dead due date by which you will have to have these files on your computer so you can edit. As soon as you get them on your computer, start editing immediately. Let's not mess around. We only have a few weeks before the end of school, and I'm so excited to play with this new program. If you don't have Premiere Rush installed, go to the Creative Cloud, find Rush, click on install it. If you do have it installed, it should pop up in your menu under A because why? It's an Adobe program and Adobe loves to put their name at the beginning. So double click on Rush. It's going to take forever to open up. You're going to see lots of stuff right here. Don't worry, you bought it. Oop, here we go. Let's create a new project. And where do I want to find it? Go to desktop. And let's look for Volleyball Game 1. Looks like click and create. And here it is as one big long clip. Now you'll look, mine is called Untitled Sequence 01. I don't like that title. It's a little bit vague, yeah? So as I start, the only way I know how to give this a name is to click on Home. It'll take you back to your main menu. Go down here. You see the 3 dots? Yeah. Rename. Yeah, put your name on it, if I can type right. Steve Hepler Volleyball. So put your name, first name, last name, yes, capitalize both, and then space, dash space, and then volleyball, and then rename. So then double click. I'm sure I'll find a different way to rename as we go, but whatever. We want to get rid of all of the boring stuff in between the plays. I like to edit it like an ESPN highlights reel. I don't put music on it because, as you can see, this is like 30 minutes of rough footage. And this is just one volleyball game from start to finish out of a 3-game match. There are 2 different parts of your screen as you look. First, up here, this is your view screen. This is where you see the video as we watch it. Your timeline is down here. This is where you'll be making all the cuts, deleting the things you don't need, adding the transitions, and all of that cool stuff. So let's start with, how do you play the video? Very good question. Hit your space bar and your video will begin. Don't forget your volume control is down here in the bottom right if you just click on the speaker. I'm turning my volume all the way down so that you can hear me instead of the crowd cheering. You may want to turn yours up so you can hear a little bit of background sound. I'm going to come over here to my timeline. I'm going to hit my space bar and the game starts. So I want to start right before first serve. So all of this stuff we don't really need, do we? So I'm going to watch it until right before we serve the ball. And notice how the camera's like zooming out, and I'm just looking for, okay, where's the ball? Who's doing the stuff? We also want to get rid of camera work where I'm zooming out or zooming in or trying to get ready for the next shot. We want the camera work to be steady. We want the camera to follow the ball. I'm getting ready. I'm putting the server up against the left-hand border right before she serves. I'm going to pause it by hitting my space bar. Once that happens, to trim off all that stuff we just saw, like a minute and 2 seconds worth of it, right? As long as your timeline is highlighted, and if your timeline isn't highlighted, just click on it, right? Hit the letter S. S is for split. Click on the part that you just split off, and then hit your delete key up in the top right-hand corner. Guess what? It goes away. Now let's hit play and see. It should start right before we serve the ball. So hit your space bar for play. Right, it's right before the serve. Cool. I want to show you a transition. I want to fade in. Look at your right hand corner up in the top right corner. See the lightning bolt? Click on that. Transitions are going to pop up on your screen. If it's like this, transitions is the menu you want. Now the one I'll have us use time after time is called dissolve. And if you've had me before, you know I'm stuck on a half-second dissolve. Guess what? 0.50 seconds. Rush automatically sets that time for a half second. So click on the dissolve, drag it, drop it at the beginning, and let go. Now, if we hit our spacebar, will it fade in? Yes. First serve, we watch the ball go over the net. We want to follow the action with the camera. I'm not going to stop the shot until about 2 seconds after the ball hits the ground, because I want us to see the whole play from start to finish. I want to split and cut out all of the stuff in between plays. But see how the timeline isn't orange because I moved my cursor off? I want to move back and click it. Now if I hit the S for split, watch what happens. It splits it off. Now let's hit play. I'm going to get rid of all the stuff in between the shots. Notice the timer's still going. So it rolls across. The other team gets it. Right before they serve, I'm going to click S again. Now, here's the tricky part. You see how everything is super duper tiny over here? There are 2 video clips, but they're so small we can't see them. Look for this slider at the bottom. If I move it to the left, will that make the clips look bigger? Yeah, it will. So the slider at the bottom is what you want so that you can see things bigger. So is this all the junk we want to get rid of? It looks like it. Notice how I'm grabbing this blue line. The blue line is called the playhead. That shows you what you're looking at. So it looks like it comes to the end of that clip. Yup. And this is the stuff that we want to get rid of, right? So we click on it and then just hit your delete key up in the top. Grab your dissolve. Add it. Do we have a stop here too? Nope, that looks good. So we follow the ball with your eyes. Okay, the ball just hit the ground. 1, 2. Sometimes you want to watch for the line judges. Make sure that we get them in there as well because they do the calls and the signals with their hands. Sometimes it's good to wait until they're done doing their thing. All right, here's something fun that I've noticed. When I click off of my playhead, like I had the timer right here at about 20 seconds, but I clicked over here. So anytime you click in the timeline, your playhead is going to move. So if you've watched something, but you have to click back in your timeline, sometimes you have to watch it a second time. Or if you immediately click that S button for split, it will always split right where the playhead is right here. So if I hit S for split, then we can watch the stuff in between the shots and do the same thing over and over and over again. Right before she serves, I'm going to back it up a little bit. Is when I want to do what? Is when I want to split. That's an S. Click on the stuff in between the plays, hit delete, grab your dissolve, add it. And that's really all you need to know to cut your video into pieces, get rid of the stuff you don't need, add those cross dissolves so that the seams between the shots are good. Coming up soon, I'll show you how to add music and graphics, but That's it for today. You are awesome. See you later. Bye-bye.